All right, guys. So good evening. I'm back here now at YouTube, apparently, and I wanted to talk about how my experience have been during my bachelor degree and how all the research did work out, and also the teamwork and the leadership experience I got. And I think the first thing I should talk about actually is that I currently is home from my summer internship right now. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning and came home at 6 p.m. So I'm a bit tired, and it's also super sweaty. I am super sweaty as well. The temperature outside is currently 27 degrees or something, so it's super hot. I just want to tell you guys that I'm gonna try to make more videos, and especially when I don't feel like doing it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make more videos and document stuff and also program. How was my bachelor degree? And what did I learn about it? Well, first of all, let's just go through what I actually did. So, to begin at the very beginning, my friend, not by saying any names, met a researcher at a university here in Gothenburg, and they essentially offered us, my friend, a job at that university. So he conducted research, and later by like half year or a couple of months, did my friend also meet another scientist that have a personal project of his, and they are basically reviving an extinct fish here in Sweden, which basically means they are creating dinosaurs. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, right? And later that time period, me and my friend actually posed the proposal, and I said immediately, yes, we're gonna do this. So my friend and I, we started the bachelor project by ourselves, and needed to get advisors and also professors that should mentor us in this project, right? We also had to talk to 3 different universities and made sure that they also collaborated with each other. So that was like a lot of emailing and stuff. And then we also had one organization and one company collaborating as well. So we had 3 different universities and 1 organization and 1 company that helped us with our bachelor degree. So that's insane. So yeah, by just saying that, like, that is a tremendous amount of work in emailing and trying to get everyone to contact each other. And the bachelor degree, we got to see our teammates, who were 6 persons that conducted research for these specific institutions. And what we're trying to do is essentially, they have revived an extinct type of fish here in Gothenburg, and they wanted to track the fish underwater. Now, the problem is that they have sensors on the fish and also beneath the water, but they cannot send the signal up to a GPS or a satellite, because GPS signals cannot be transmitted underwater. It's because there is a lot of disturbance in the water. So we had to find another way to track these fishes around a certain area underwater without a GPS signal. We didn't even know where these fishes were. That's the problem. We wanted to know where the fish were, and we didn't know where it was. Finding a needle in a haystack, and that is to find like that's the best comparable scenario that you can ever find. So what did we do? Well, we created a system or a software that is connected to a local, or it can be local, but it can also be set up in a way so it can be run in the cloud. But we created a program that essentially saves data in a database, uploaded from the computer to the database, fetched the data with parallel working computers or agents to the calculation program, did a lot of calculations to find out where some of the fishes were, and then did probability theory to estimate where the fishes could have been, and then ask the agents again, which runs in parallel, hey, can you save this data that we have guessed? And then it takes the data, store it in the database, and the front end essentially fetches the data from the API to fetch the data from the database to the API to the front end. So we built a whole production by ourselves from scratch. There was no technology that we used that was already created. We created everything from scratch, and it worked. And also we wrote 80 A4 paper on this, and we did this bachelor thesis in half a year. So we did all this. The thing we didn't know about was that this organization that conducted this type of research and also revived the extinct fishes was not only in Sweden. And I cannot talk about a lot of this because it's not released yet. Let's just say that that program might go international, and I don't know when or how it will, or even if it will go international, but there are a lot of plans there. So it's a big thing that I was a part, or me and my friend and I started. So I'm not even sure if where that is gonna go. But that being said, during our programming or development, we had some interesting situations with leadership and also teamwork. It wasn't like a linear progress curve, so to speak. It was like an exponential increase in productivity, and then it goes down exponentially and people get mad, and then it goes up exponentially again, and then it goes down. So it was definitely not a stable way to develop a software program, at least in my opinion. But we figured out how to work with each other and divide the work, so it worked out in the end, which is great. And everyone is friends and no one is angry. Or I have tried to find the location where the thesis is gonna be published, and the thesis is not published yet. I will link that in this video when the thesis is published, so you guys can go and read it if you want to. There's no force anyone to read about it at all. That is what we have done over the past half of the year of 2025. What I've learned is that leaders themselves are not necessarily the one that gives out the command. It's more like leaders are there to help people, or the people that is following him. Leaders are also there to give structure, not necessarily give out orders, but ask about structure. It's usually, hey, we're gonna have a meeting tomorrow. How should the meeting look like? What do you guys think about it? What should the structure be? Should we have someone responsible over the structure of the meeting? For example, that's just one example. There's multiple examples of this. But then also the leader, which this is the part where I have felt most of it, should not only give out structure, it should also get to know every individual in the team, so they can be there for that specific individual. That is a bit difficult to do since everyone is different and everyone has different opinions, and some people might not like each other. I mean, that's fine. That's usually how teamworks work out. But that is what a leader should do, I think. Then now there are more levels to this as well. And since this is just a research project, this is not like a company-based structure at all. There are more structures to this, which I'm not going to go into, but just to give you a perspective, a leader should be there to give structure, to not necessarily give order. Probably should give order in some scenarios, obviously, and also get to know everyone on a personal level, or try to get to know an individual on a personal level. And the absolute focus should be productivity. And also, there's a term that I like to use, but which is called hurting love, which basically means that if you want to help someone and it's a difficult news to give out, then you essentially give out the news. Even if it's difficult for you or might hurt someone's feelings, you give out the news because they have to know it, right? Not necessarily harm anyone, so they feel bad or whatever. I've also realized that I'm so terrible at writing research, so I have to work on that, specifically me. But I've also realized that there are a lot of more technology to experience, especially in terms of software architecture and programming. Something I got introduced to, and it's actually kind of embarrassing that I didn't know about this earlier. It is background workers or engines. What type of software architecture create agents to create parallel computations under the front end, which is the background operations, right? It makes the calculations a lot faster and smoother for the end user, which is super awesome. And it's also the computer itself that fix all of this by itself. Why haven't I think about that? That is just insane. And also I realized that the code that you are coding, just because it works doesn't mean it's necessarily good. I mean, there is code that is working, and then there is code that is working super good. I mean, there are kind of levels of working code that works, right? So when you are a programmer, this is something I realized as well. When you are a programmer and you use ChatGPT or whatever, it's not necessarily the best option to use. Actually, I mean, you can use it to create the new ideas or ask it for some help or whatever, but you are probably gonna make the code better by yourself. And I'm not kidding. This will probably change in the future, I know, but at the current moment, I think you can create better code by yourself if you're experienced. If you don't know how to create code, then you probably should go and learn coding. And if you only prompt to ChatGPT over and over again, or copy even the prompt in and paste it in there because it was wrong, then you have to go back to the playground and play around with the code again because you don't know how to code. Like, that is what I realized. So there's a lot of like learning milestones, and I've also realized that even if you, and this is gonna sound terrible, actually, this is just my opinion, by the way, so just take it or leave it. But just because you complete a bachelor degree or complete a research project or whatever, and people congratulate you, which it's good, right? That doesn't mean that you are the best in the world. You have to like compress your own ego to actually realize that, okay, this is what I've done. It worked out. Maybe it didn't. Okay, but either way, can I make this better? Like, is there always some part of the program that you can make better, right? And I'm not saying that you should downplay your own achievements, but just think rational about it. Just be rational about it, you know? There are always improvements to whatever you do, wherever you are. And it doesn't matter if you're doing a master or bachelor or research. It's like, I can actually like tell you guys about it. I'm gonna talk about this more later in another video, but during my summer internship, at the moment, I learned so much about like programming and also how to program good code. And there is so much things that you don't know about programming. Even if you like say you have been programming for like 10 years, which is me basically, and I still learn today. There is nothing you can say that you are good at if you program, because there are so much stuff to learn. So yeah, I guess that is like, I'm not gonna speak more about this, but that is how I feel about it. And yeah, I'm gonna try to post more videos, and thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.